All right, let's see if I'm live. Uh, okay, awesome. I think we're live, right? Like what I can see. Yeah. All right. So, hey everyone, I'm Shivam, and I am just here to, have some fun, code without AI because many companies are going completely, uh, s- you know, crazy on AI. If I'm being very honest. So this is the first stream, and well, we are gonna start building the exchange. So this is more of an educational video, but yeah, this is building in public. We'll be uh, researching, we'll be reading books, we'll be doing a lot of other things. Of course, I'll be using ChatGPT for research as well. But at the end of the day, it's not the smartest thing to do 100 every time. So yeah, I mean, we'll just keep doing and let's see what happens next. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so we actually started this. Uh, so our project name is Constant. We are building basically an exchange engine because I want to learn about concurrency and you know failure tolerant engines and other things. So this is my way to you know get it going. So let's get started. Now, um, first thing first, we will probably start with you know building a plain HTTP package. So let's uh, go to yeah, there you go. Let me print this over here. HTTP. All right. So go HTTP GoLang, and we'll have our HTTP. Well, as you would have already realized, it's Valentine's Day, and you know a guy streaming on YouTube as well. Not gonna get anyone. So here I am, uh, passing my loneliness away, I suppose. So we have a Go HTTP package. Um, let's get started on this part. Let's see what can we do with it with examples. Okay. We have a server shutdown. We have a lot of things going on. So just don't mind me because I'm trying to learn. This is like completely the first time I'm trying to do this thing. So don't mind me for that part. But that's about it. Okay. There's post functions. There is status, major code. Okay. So my goal over here right now is to learn how to use the entire thing, right? Okay. So we have our IO log HTTP function. This is log.printf error. Yeah, we have your port address that will probably default to localhost if we don't give anything. A key file which we don't need. Handler is null. Okay, that seems close enough to me. So let's see what can we do. Right, this. What is this? Right. So this is started with you know learning and doing things. Okay, so coming back to VS Code. Right. Uh, let's just start with simple Oh, this engine is empty, by the way. I'm just keeping it here for just for the sake of it right now. But let's start with this. Right. Um, let's start with that HTTP dot. So oh, this just accepts it. It has to listen and solve. Right. This is the address. So this will be our port. Mm, rather, actually, address itself. Let's just worry about the thing later. Let's start with 8080. And yeah, other than that, let there be a null handler for now. Right. Um. Okay, that's one thing. Now, what I'm gonna do is put a log. So this log, and then I could probably use a print ln or just info. Yep, log println, and I could say server running on 8080, right? So fmt is not imported. We see that, and we have it. Okay, that's one thing. Let's see if this at least compiles and runs. Oh, okay. So first missing first. Package name. Go and main go. Okay, so we have this working now. So it's essentially listening onto the 8080 part. Now let's see what happens. It has this handler function. So let's try to see what happens if we add a function over here. Right, so what do? We probably add a hey, what the? We'll have to see what else is there in this thing. So interesting. Listen serve TLS. Okay, we give some examples. Get okay. This seems fair enough. Post form, read responses. Why are we jumping away from this? So looks to handle. Server shutdown. That's pretty interesting. Right. Okay, let's get this thing working. So there's something with handle func. What does it do? It is the handler function for the given pattern in default so mux. So I guess if we put it as nil over here, this will give a default so mux over here. Okay, so what is so mux? Is the HTTP request multiplexer? It matches the URL of each incoming request. Those the pattern calls. Okay, that's pretty interesting and nonsense. You have your type and other things. Literal pattern matches host. Special wildcard matches only the end of the URL. Okay, if two unknown pattern match a request, then the most specific pattern takes a precedence. Or if neither is more specific, then the pattern conflicts. This must rules for backward comparison. Okay, that's interesting. So if there's a pattern that is exactly the same, it'll panic. Mm-hmm. If someone requests a subquery without a trailing slash, it redirects the request by adding the trailing slash. This behavior can be overridden by separate decision with a path without trailing slash. So this wildcard processor must redirect slash images to images unless images has been registered separately. So this also one interesting thing. Okay, seems like a pretty solid thing. I mean, if I had to start with something, I'll do this. Now, let's see. Okay, so we have a HTTP package and all this thing. Alright, so let's get back to this. We have a HTTP, right? We'll have dot handle func. Oh, there's a difference. So this is HTTP handler in itself, and this handle function. Okay, now let's take a string. Let's say healthy, for example, right? And you have to write a function that will probably we'll probably write something over here for now. Function healthy handle, right? And here we'll go and we'll write. So one thing to take care of this is that there is HTTP response, right? And then there is HTTP request that goes inside the function itself, right? So we'll have to write we are writing a response, so ww would work, response writer, and what was the other thing, and there's an HTTP request, r would work, and HTTP request, oh, that's a pointer as well, right? So we have this, let's say this the correct one, the handler. Okay, nice. Let's see if I remove, yeah, okay, that's not alright. So now you have your pointer, that is your request, your w. So we write w dot write, and then here's your byte stream that comes up, yeah, byte, and then healthy, for example. You go here, there, okay. Of course this doesn't have hot reload, so I'm gonna start this again. Awesome. Let's do a simple curl command, that'll be your localhost 8080 slash health. Yeah, there you go. That's nice. Okay, so percentage by the way is an end of a string. This is a very common thing that goes on in the world. So that's about it. Okay, so now we know how to have this thing working, but let's see how a production grade app would actually do it, because if we keep doing this ourselves, it's going to take a pretty long time to get adjusted to it. So let's go with this. Okay, these slides for this page struct, yada yada. Okay, we have this thing working, so that's nice. Just use the wiki pages, HTML template package, template caching. Yeah, that didn't help much. Interesting. That's nice. Okay. So you have your line file server. And yeah, I think I'm basic with that. Okay. Moving. Right. Okay. I don't want to do HTTP router. I just want to have a very alright. So when you explicitly okay, so what's this mux thing? Yeah. Um yeah, so it is a handle function called default server mux. Now we create mux ourselves and then register a route against it. The handle func method is exactly the same, but one is global to HTTP module and one is in server mux object. So if you really look at it, there's now mux, then there's a server which brings up this, and then there's this error serve. Okay, and okay, that's pretty interesting. So this HTTP handles all the way down, and then you have the server, you have this, yada yada, mux.handlers of HTTP. Incoming request triggers the creation of this and that. You can code under function. You know what? I think it would be just easier to start with the dev.to. This is my usual go-to because many of them just give the code out and that's easier to get going with it. Okay, it seems like this is the only way, and I don't think you could probably do something better than this. Boot.dev, that's pretty interesting on its own. Okay. Okay, it's just teaching us the entire HTTP protocol. Inside this, there will be right, right. Oh, look at this. So, it also, like it said in the previous, when I was there, it explained that it handles trailing slash differently, unless there's a trailing slash over here, and if this did not exist, this particular URL will become this, right? So it has this thing. Okay, this is what I wanted to know. This get method, this post method, and default. Okay, okay. So that's nice. Now we know something. CRUD operations, handle post, body, yada yada. Interestingly, okay, so let's just start with, so we have a healthy handler, right? um right, so engine will contain the core parts. Let's just build, so in this one, right, um you have your routes, and then let's start with health dot go. Okay, so you have your package routes. Let's see. So we'll just shift this healthy handler completely to this. The HTTP is defined. Here this is unused. Well, it really shouldn't be, so that's that. Hmm. Now my thing is, how do I get routers in the GoLang? So routers in GoLang. Okay, that didn't help at all. Yeah, there it is. This is exactly what I wanted. Okay, so we can start with this. So create a router, HTTP create, was it new source. Yeah, okay. And then what do you do with it? Can you group some routes? So yeah, oh yeah, you can. Okay, so how do you do that? Register routes, this thing, that thing, and then return sort. Okay, so you have your user handler. And it registers the routes on its own, and not under handle, strip prefix, users, user route. Okay, so just to be very clear, what is handler is a question now, right? Handler is in GoLang. Let's see what that is. That effort for necessarily implementing, including middleware, the logs and formats. So what does this do? Package handler implements a number of useful HTTP middlewares. Okay, yeah, that didn't help a lot, but let's see if we can get something out of it. Again, didn't help. So okay, so handlers are nothing but controllers and nonsense. So Mux stores mapping between the predefined URL. Okay, that's what it does. It's just basically some sort of a map. Right, we have done this. This is redirect handler. Okay, there's mux.handle slash row RH. Right, so it's basically doing that. It redirects to this. Yeah, okay. Then there's custom handlers. The handlers are useful, but most of the time for building an application, you want to use custom. So how do you do that? First thing is to explain that anything in Go can be a handler as long as it satisfies HTTP.handler interface, which basically looks like this. Okay, you have your type handler as an interface, and then you serve HTTP. Cool. So you have your type handler format. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Since you have your serve HTTP and your time handler going on. Okay, that's somewhat interesting. So now you serve HTTP and then you do time handler, this particular format, and then you do mux handle time. Right. So you just basically handed over the handler to this. Okay, that's even better. If you can, probably wondering how can that be handled? It doesn't have a service sheet method. Correct. Right. So how do you do that? Oh, okay. That's interesting. Okay, that is important. Okay, so um, thank God for this. I'll not be using submux anymore. Um, yeah, just move that away for now. Right, and then let's see. We could probably start with time handler, so on and so forth. Hmm. So what does do? Returns and APSO, which is nothing but an address string, and then when you run it, what does it do? It has its user handlers and other things. Right. Okay, so let's start with gin or fiber. I think I'll go with fiber this time. Fiber GoLang, because the truth is, I'm not here to act like you know that I'm not gonna be those crazy GoLang devs who just end up saying that everything should be run on this and that. That's stupidity to me. If there's something that's making your life less miserable, you should use that. That's my ideology. And personally, I would like that more than anything else. So, yeah, we'll be going with fiber right now. Okay, let's wait for the download. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so we have a GoLang, and let's start with the docs, right? Interesting. Okay. Hmm. Okay, yeah, there we go. Let's start with a very, very basic. Let me just restart the stream and go to it once again. Oh, you know what? I'll just edit the video. It's better. Uh, yeah, let's just. Oh, it's me three. There you go. Okay. So now you have your this, and so on and so forth. Ah, sorry. Go run main.com. The app is listing at 3000. Okay, awesome. Um, let's see what else can we do now. So yeah, we have locals 3000. Right, let's just see if this thing works properly. Yes, hello world. Okay, that's nice. Now there's basic routing. This app dot method path of string. Okay, so method is get proposed path as your virtual path, and you have your context that goes here. Simple route will be this: send string, parameters, optional parameters, file path, static files. Okay, that's nice. That's new on V3. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, just like fiber. Right. So this is where your server starts. This case sensitive strict routing. So header app name. Okay. App name, your body limit. Um, yeah, you can do all of this. I'm not doing that. Concurrency. Maximum concurrent requests right now is 2024. Okay. Okay. So, okay, that's interesting again. Maybe JSON encoder, decoder, proxy header, read buffer size, request method, views, this, that, blah blah blah. Listener network. Here's certificates file. You also have to listen. It's just a basic thing. Yep, this is important. Oh, this is a shutdown. Okay. There's neuro, there's child, etc. Okay, that's fine. Then there's app, which is hmm. Okay, so you can create a group of routes. This handler, this, you know, v1, then you do API group, and this handler, and then there's more, so on and so forth. Yeah, okay. Oh, interesting. It returns a router. So I believe we can put another routers and routers, I suppose. Let's try this out. Get router handle. CTX context. Holy shit, that's pretty good. Resources, estate management, resource. There are logs. That's just pretty neat. There's redirect, there's line. Middle there are oh my god, that's pretty sweet. Okay, so there's guide of routing. Let's HTTP methods. Nice. So there's grouping that happens. So the only thing is like what does grouping do? Can we like export or import those groups? That's my question. Cool. So okay, let's just try this out, right? Let's start with this, and hopefully, just very much hopefully, have this group ready. GoLang multiply routing. That's where I wanna. This to do this. So let's say there's a boilerplates, and let's say how do these guys handle it, right? This app.use, this app.group v1, handlers, then there's star, and so forth. Well, that'll help a lot. So let's see if we can get fiber with GoLang. Okay, interesting. This may not go. What have they done? Routes.public routes, routes.private routes. Okay, that's that's interesting. And these are just yeah, that's again interestingly. I would say by most stars. No, we actually saw this right now. Okay, Sujit Bhalia, let's see what have you done for your side. Usman.go, config file, content cross, enable app version, routes dot node. Okay. So supposing it's in rest routes admin.go. Oh, okay. There's something called web group. Admin.get, admin user routes, admin blah blah. Right, right. Okay, so well, okay. How are you? Hmm. Where is the load routes? Yeah, there's web routes, but I don't see any load routes as such. Oh, that is API group. API web group. Okay, that's fair enough. I think we can do all of this in some time. Let me just put up some notes here. Health.go. Okay, we'll just probably name it handlers for now. Naming it route doesn't make sense. So we have handlers, and we'll probably keep routers, which will have multiple routes and so on. So let's say um, health router.go. Right. We'll have health routers. Oops. Oh, I'll be right back. Hey, sorry about that. Well, coming back to this function health router. Okay, so we have this, and let's see. Let's see how does this go. Now we'll be creating routers using this. So let's see the client being rest and this and that routing. Yeah, express JS type routing over here. That is interesting. Okay, so we have a grouping. Let's see, there's an app.group, so on and so forth. So let's assume that there's an app that will come here, right? That will be nothing but fiber.app as a struct, which will basically you know a pointer, which basically would be an object and so on and so forth. So we have app, now we have group. There you go, right? You want a string, so okay, we want slash help, right? But do we really need this for now? We don't. I'm just gonna give it as app.get and slash health, and we'll keep health router. Okay, so we have a health route already. We have a, yeah, there is, oh, okay, so this healthy handler. Um, healthy will be basically handlers dot healthy handler. Alright. Okay, let's add, let me add import handlers. There you go. Imported as routes and not used. Yeah, what does that mean? And this slash health into the magic. Health, healthy. There you go. Although I think it would be better to have a handlers dot go. Or maybe you don't need it actually. Let's just keep it as it is. Just could not import health. Oh, right. This was the reason behind it. I'll be right back.